Hi everyone! In this video, we are going to see how to create simple websites using .NET and ASP.NET Core. We will guide you in the basics of what .NET is, how it works, and what tools you will need to start building your very own website. By the end of this, you will have a clearer understanding of how to use .NET for web development. Let's get started! Before we jump in, make sure you have Visual Studio Code on your computer, the .NET SDK installed, and of course, some motivation to get started. Okay, so let's start with .NET. What exactly is it? .NET is a framework developed by Microsoft that helps developers build a software. It's not just a single programming language, it's actually a whole platform for building and running applications. But here's the important part, .NET understands C# and other languages, meaning it acts as a compiler and provides libraries that help you interact with hardware and operating system. Speaking of C#, that's one of the primary languages we'll be working with when using .NET. C# is a high-level, object-oriented language that's perfect for building all kinds of applications. But the cool part about .NET is that it supports multiple languages like Visual Basic .NET and Python.NET too. So whether you're into C#, Visual Basic or Python.NET, .NET has your back. With .NET, you can build a variety of applications, desktop apps, mobile apps, cloud apps, and websites. But today we are going to focus specially on ASP.NET Core, which is a powerful framework for building websites and web applications. It's lightweight, fast, and cross-platform, meaning it works on Windows, macOS, and Linux. For example, big applications like Stack Overflow and Microsoft's own website are powered by .NET. If you ever use Skype or Visual Studio, those are built using .NET too. There are also many games who was created with .NET like Terraria or a part of Age of Empires 3. Now, why use .NET? Well, it has a lot of advantages like strong performance, scalability, and security, but there are some weaknesses too, like the steep learning curve for beginners and less flexibility compared to other frameworks. But overall, it's a powerful tool for developers. So, you might be asking, how do I actually build websites with .NET? Well, here where ASP.NET come in. Think of .NET as a cake, and ASP.NET will be the top layer. ASP.NET integrates seamlessly with everything that's already built into .NET and help us focus specifically on building websites and web applications. It simplifies the process of creating, deploying, and maintaining web apps. Now that we understand what .NET and ASP.NET are, let's move on to the second part of this video, where we'll dive into how to actually start building your website using ASP.NET Core.
So, before you start coding and creating your project, you will need to install several things on your PC if you don't already have them. The first thing is an IDE, and it can be of your choice. Thus, we will use Visual Studio Code in this video. An IDE, Integrated Development Environment, is a software application that provides comprehensive tools for software development, such as code editor, compiler, debugger, and other features to help developers write, test, and debug their codes in a single interface. It streamlines the development process by integrating various tools into one environment. There are a lot of different IDEs that you can use, like Visual Studio, MonoDevelop, Eclipse, or Visual Studio Code. You can choose every one you want. Like I said, in this video, we will use Visual Studio Code. To install VS Code, you have to go to your preferred browser and search for Visual Studio Code. Click on the first link and then click on download. Once the download is completed, open the file. Follow the steps until the end and you will have downloaded with success VS Code on your PC. Second, you will need the .NET Software Dev Kit or SDK. Same thing as before, you look on your preferred browser for .NET and click on this link. Once you are on the page, you will have to choose which version to install of .NET. Right now, there are two versions, the 8.0 and the 9.0. In this video, we will install the 8.0 because it's a more stable version compared to the 9.0. Finally, the last thing to download is C-Sharp DevKit extension on VS Code. This extension is useful due to the essential features that it provides, like syntax highlighting, debugging, error checking, and code navigation. So, open the application that you just have installed, go to the left sidebar and click on this icon. Search in the search bar C# DevKit and install the extension. Once you have done all that, you will be ready to start your project. So now I will let Nathan explain you how to do that.
Now that you know how to install all the necessary tools, I will show you how to initialize a project. Okay, first create a new folder to hold your project. For example, I will call it .NET tutorial. Once you have done this, open VS Code which you installed earlier. The window should look like this. Click on File, then click on Open Folder. In File Explorer, find your previously created folder and open it. In my case, it's on the desktop, so there you go. Once you've opened your folder, click on the Terminal tab in the top menu, then click on New Terminal. A terminal opens at the bottom of the screen, allowing us to initialize the project. Write .NET new MVC O followed by the name of your project. Yes, it's a little bit complicated, I know. For example, I'm going to call it tuto. On the left, you can see a new folder with several subfolders and files. This is your project. I'm not going to go into details about that. I will leave that to my colleague Mael. Okay. To view your project, go back on the terminal and write cd followed by the name of your project. Tuto. This will allow you to move around your project. Then write .NET run, which will allow you to launch your project. But if you want to see your changes in real time, write .NET watch. Now that everything's done, you can see the localhost link. Click on it and see your project. Wow, you can see the basis of your project. Yes! I will now let Mael explain the basics of the language.
Now that you have your website started, it's time to edit it. You go into your preferred IDE. We will look into the views folder. And if you don't see the folder structure, what you do is you press Ctrl B or you press this button here, the Explorer button in the upper left side of your screen. Diving into views, there is Home. You press it and you will see two files. They have the CSHTML extension. Index corresponds to the page you see here, and privacy to this page. We'll look into home. I've made some modifications to the site. You can pause the video if you want to copy the modifications. So first of all, this line, it sets the title of the page. This is why it's called title. If you look into here, you will see that it's called My Awesome Site. And this is what I've written here. I've declared a list of items, so it's a list of words or strings with the keyword var. Var creates a variable, and I called it list of items, but you can call it anything you want. Then I created the list with different items in here. And in the HTML part, which is right here, I've written this. This is a statement that allows you to loop through a list. This is what I did here. So I create a var that's called item. I could call it thing to be clearer, and I modify this. And now I have thing that will take the value of every item in my list of items. And this is the power of for each. And in here, there is this line that starts with at with a colon, and it says to ASP.NET Core, hey, from here, from this point across, this is HTML. This is not CS, C# anymore. And in here, there is this at thing. If I remove the at, sorry, if I remove the at and go on the website, it will say thing, which is not what I want. I want that it spells the items that I've defined here. So I say again to C#, from here, like the thing that is after my at, it's a variable, it's not text anymore. And as you can see, it changes. Now it takes the values of item 1, 2, 3, and 4. There are many other things you can do. This is a very rudimentary example of what you can do with C#, but this is what we wanted to do. This is what we've aimed at for this video. If you want to see more advanced examples of what you can do with ASP.NET Core, you can leave a comment down below. We will look at it and we will make a video on whatever you want. If you've liked the video, consider subscribing and liking the video. Thank you a lot for your attention. And yeah, have a nice day. Good coding.
Happy coding!